I have a large collection of arcade games. I wonder how much money it would cost me to complete all of them if it was a real arcade. Only one way to find out. I have a quick question for you at home. What do you get if you take some Ridley Scott, add some Michael Bay, and just a pinch of Contra? Truly, it could be a lot of things, but one of those things is Konami's 1990 Aliens arcade game. Like most movie games, it doesn't follow the exact plot of the film. Unlike most movie games though, it strays so far from the film that it might as well be its own film. Believe me though when I say that in this case, it's not a bad thing. Let's jump straight into this one. The game starts with a visual of blonde Ripley approaching the space settlement Acheron, armed with a smart gun. Your objective? Destroy all alien motherfuckers. Oh, and survive. I guess that's important too. Then it's on to level 1. You play as either blonde Ellen Ripley or Ginger Corporal Hicks if you are the second player. You can move in all directions, shoot forward, shoot while ducked, and shoot straight up. You move a little slow, but I guess that just adds to the idea that the aliens are physically more able than a human. You have a life bar which decreases by 1 or 2 every time you're hit. Which sounds good, but there are a lot of things coming at you at once that will quickly wear you down. You have 1 extra life per credit you use, but you have to be fully aware of what's happening if you want to make them last. First level begins. You barely move forward when you are attacked by the stars of the show themselves. You will notice that these aren't the Xenos from the film. There are a fuck ton of enemies to fight in this game, all of which are any colour but black. Most of the time you will be fighting pink drones or the green facehuggers. Every level features new enemies to fight, all of whom have their own sprites and attack methods, but they rarely turn up in levels after the ones they appear in. I think they even predicted the black goo from Prometheus in here too. Oh hey, there's Newt, or Penny from Inspector Gadget. She's doing the smart thing and running deeper into the alien hordes rather than to the 2 humans who are slaughtering them with giant guns they hold like giant cocks. Well, better see where the fuck she ran to. Oh dear god, what is that? End level bosses are a thing, and they certainly are unique. You hardcore fans of the Alien series out there will probably know that Konami made a lot of original aliens for this game, and honestly, they did a good job. They could have been lazy and just done palette swaps like Capcom do, but they came up with some good designs that all have their own mechanics, so that gets some respect from me. The bosses are pretty fun too. They have multiple stages to them which makes their attack methods change, so you have to stay on your toes and adapt to the new attack method. What's cool about this boss too, is that it shows the Contra inspiration. As you can see, rather than advancing to the side and shooting, you're now locked into shooting upwards, not to mention the background really adds to the effect of shooting away from the player. It's nice because it keeps the game feeling new as you advance and less repetitive. It's no wonder Konami stood out in the arcades back in the day. This boss has 2 phases. In its first phase, it tries to nom-nom you with a giraffe tentacle neck. Shoot it enough times and it loses its head. That's the easy part. It's the second stage when it starts firing these weird psychedelic starfish at you while doing a tap dance. This phase isn't hard, but potentially the hit detection is a bit broken. It's easy to avoid the attacks, but it's a literal hit or miss as to whether or not they connect. Here you can see this one missed, but this one connected, so how close you can be without being hurt is unclear. Keep blasting it though, and it blows up to death. Maybe these aliens have nitroglycerin instead of acid for blood. At the end of most of the levels, you board an APC and are driven to the next area while you stand on top instead of in the safety of the armoured vehicle, and it suddenly becomes a third-person rail shooter. Nice change in setting, but they are pretty straightforward. Shoot the aliens before they jump onto the APC. If they reach it, stay out of the way till they jump past you, or you get hurt. Rinse and repeat until you reach the next level, which is only a short distance, but there is a lot of shit in between. Oh hey Newt, good to see you being safe again. Not hiding from the aliens, but standing in the middle of the road where this multi-ton army vehicle nearly ran you over. No wonder you survived here for so long. Oh god damn it. So when you reach the end of the level, Newt is carried away by flying Xeno and you give chase. New enemies start to appear and you get this radar like in the film, but it's worthless and serves no purpose other than to fill negative space. It tells you when enemies are nearby, but only when the enemies are on screen, by which time they're so close you probably already killed them or they've already landed a hit. From this point on, the levels start getting longer too, and thanks to the level design, the good graphics and constantly changing enemies means more entertainment per level. You start off crawling through the vents, shooting the flying heads and half-slug aliens that rush you. There's also steam to avoid and... zombies? Throwing grenades? Okay, what? After that, you come to a lift where it's possible to get a game over if you aren't careful. As the lift goes down, aliens will jump on top of it and damage the pulley system. If it takes enough damage from the aliens or too much weight is in the lift, you will lose one of its 3 wires. All the while you are being attacked by aliens running into the lift too. What I noticed was the cables seemed to have varying health. The first wire broke after a small bit of strain, and the second one broke after 2 aliens chewing on it. But the third wire took 6 bites from aliens, then 3 moments of strain before we had a short fall to our death. What made that last wire so special? It was also at this point I noticed a graphical bug. After looking at the footage, I now realise it's been there since the beginning of the game. You've probably seen it already, but for some reason, the Hicks avatar keeps changing into Ripley for a few seconds during certain actions. It's not game breaking, but you can imagine at least the confusion if you're fighting side by side with your partner. After the lift section, we encounter the zombies again, and they come in 3 forms. Your standard shambler who just wants to rush you and explode into chestbursters upon death, the legless who know how to use a gun, and the badass zombie who knows how to use an LMG and likes to hide behind your life bars. They die pretty quick and they aren't the smartest enemies either, so you can dispose of them easy. Shortly after that, we encounter the mini-boss of this level, the pinball alien. On its first appearance, it bursts out of a door and bounces around a bit before moving further into the level. Oh hey look, cooked meat on a bone that restores health. That's good, Ripley only has 1 health left. She'll just wander over there and eat it. Oh, you bastard. Unfortunately, my partner fell for the trick and lost a life. When they aren't being used as bait, the items in the game are few, but helpful. You have food that restores your life. The rest of the items though are weapons. You can find them by shooting open these crates, or when they drop from enemies. Weapons include bombs that work as landmines, but these are rare and not that effective compared to the superior bombs that damage and kill everything on screen. You can also find 4 other weapons, all of which have unlimited ammo, but each function differently. When a weapon drops, it spawns as 1 item that changes after a second or 2. First is the flamethrower, my personal favourite. It attacks in a stream and will hit any and all enemies it touches. It's powerful as shit and has a satisfying death animation. Victory. Then you have the missile launcher. It shoots 2 rockets at once that will home in on the nearest enemy, but they are a bit floaty so they veer off a lot and sometimes, only sometimes, work. But when they do connect, they are a 1-hit kill. The weakest and, to be honest, most useless of these 4 weapons, more useless than the smart gun, your default weapon, is the three-way missile shot. Contra fans may think it works like the spread shot, but you'd be wrong. It fires 3 non-homing missiles in a straight line and it takes more shots to kill an enemy than the smart gun, and I can prove it. Here it is shooting an LMG zombie. 5 shots to kill. Now here's my partner doing the same thing with the smart gun. 2 shots was all it took. The first few shots don't count because only when the enemy flashes has the hit registered. So avoid this gun like rich people avoid taxes, and remember that fire destroys all. There's also the 3-way shot. I had trouble with this gun because whenever I picked it up it seemed to give me a missile instead. I don't know whether or not that's an issue with the game or not, but this is footage of someone else using it. Good thing I died before I faced the mini-boss, so I would have had an inferior weapon now. In its first stage, the pinball alien bounces around the arena, invincible while it does so and is vulnerable only when it stands up to shoot stardust at you. As it advances in stages, its spinball attack starts to become more erratic and it can jump and even change direction mid-roll. Not too hard though, just don't stop moving for anything. The level carries on, fight a few more zombies, defy gravity for a short time, and now you're in the sewer system maybe? With fucking spiders! Oh, I hate how they caught the spiders crawling perfectly. Oh, they've animated it so well, but I hate spiders. Don't have to deal with them for long though, because this section is short, and when we exit, we get a power loader. Fancy looking as it is, it's nothing special. It replaces your gun with a melee attack that 1-hit kills aliens, but you still take damage like you were on foot, and doesn't really serve a purpose other than fan service. You don't get to use it for long either, as once you reach the end of this corridor it kicks you out automatically and you enter a hive, where the end level boss is way Am I allowed to show that? Did I just walk into a Xeno orgy here? Well, only one way to stop this. Burn it! Oh god, so it wasn't an orgy, it was an end-level boss. First stage, it slowly tries to whip you with its tentacles? Testicles? Testicles? And spits cocoons at you. As you damage it more, it spits out more cocoons and can grab you with its testicles. You can shoot them off to reduce its offensive capabilities, but its weak spot is its head, which is also its anus, by the looks of things. Without a doubt, I can say this is the most Japanese enemy in this game. Japan, you so weird, but we love you for it. Defeat this abomination, and it's another violent road trip to the next level. This time we get a new enemy to fight on the road. Crates. They bounce onto the APC if you don't shoot them and function like other aliens in the level. Once again, we are after Newt, but this time we actually managed to save her. Next level, and the difficulty takes a sharp spike here. The regular aliens now have attacks that involve burrowing up from the ground and climbing on foregrounds and backgrounds. The levels start feeling cramped because the paths begin to get narrower and enemies begin to attack in bigger crowds. And the mini-boss? Oh god. This one is a pain in the ass because it has an attack that takes up 3/4 of the screen. So if you are on the wrong side of the screen, you're fucked. I think you can destroy the floating face huggers in bubbles, but even with 2 players concentrating on it, we didn't seem to make a difference. Fun fact, this boss was the only one that has 1 phase in the game. Once you kill it, it's back to the vents. With another radar, only this time, it works. Enemies do appear on the radar before they get on screen, even the ones hiding in other vents. This part, however, is a seriously creepy part. The floor gives way and you fall into the nest, but you land 1 floor above and you see all the aliens swarming together to try and get you. I think it's supposed to be like that moment in the film when they see them crawling through the air ducts. Unnerving as it is though, here we are dealing with it easily. I'll be honest, I've had anxiety attacks that were more fun than that. A little further and we get a second mini-boss, Crab Aliens, which I think are bugged. They arrive small but then start to grow when you shoot them. I think they are bugged though because this isn't just an effect of them growing, they just do. Easy enough to take care of though. With no real attacks, they wander around the screen waiting for you to shoot them. After that section, you find your way outside where the end level bosses are, the Taser Bros. They run fast as fuck around the screen and off screen, shooting electric from and between their heads if you get too close. And if that wasn't electrifyingly entertaining enough, the weather tries to kill you too. When you kill one of them, the remaining alien goes berserk with new attacks and the music implies you done fucked up. Music in this game is so-so. It's fast and upbeat and certainly adds to the action or the intensity of the situation, but they don't all sound good, to me anyway. The sound effects I'm okay with, though I wish they had some of the iconic sounds from the film, like the alien hiss or the rifle sound. But I understand the limitations of the tech, so instead we get substitutes. Best they could do with the limitations, so I could get it. The last one takes a hell of a beating, but when you do kill it, there's no ride to the next level. You get placed straight into the next level, and you can tell by the amount of enemies you're facing, you're on your way to the end credits. You literally can't walk 2 steps without a new threat trying to kill you. Best method is just to run and gun while spraying and praying through this surprisingly short section. Is the game broke? Oh, what happened to— oh shit! So after that cheat trick, you come face to face with the alien queen. This is a difficult boss, but the best way to describe why is clutter. The alien drones will keep replacing the eggs you destroy. More drones will approach from behind to attack you, and every time you destroy a part of the queen's egg sac, it spits out gunk at you. Just look how clustered this screen is and tell me you can do this without getting hit. After you destroy the 8th section of the egg sac, the queen falls to the ground and explodes, then the next level starts. Narrow walkways, aliens made of liquid, and a recycled boss with new attacks try to eat the last of your credits before you escape on your spaceship. But, surprise, the bitch came back. No surprise, she is the end level boss, and no surprise, she's cheap as shit. You get a power loader to fight her, but it's no good if she just runs straight at you with no way to stop her, and her tail swings unpredictably around her, often hitting you if you get away from her charge. And the power loader is worthless because the queen doesn't even flinch from being hit by it. Even if you keep your distance from her, she spits more egg sac goo at you. So you blast her for a while until the airlock opens. Now the power loader has got a use. If you hit the queen while she is next to the airlock, when she decides to go that way, you have a short time to wrestle with her using the shoot button, which she breaks out of quickly if you aren't fast enough or aren't expecting it. But if you are fast enough, you throw her out the airlock and get to view the ending. Get away from me, you bitch! The aliens' breeding ground has been destroyed, and the last of their flung into timeless space. You have also survived. Congratulations. There was so much that could have been done in that last battle. In the film, Ripley has a sumo wrestle with the Queen in the robot loader. Why couldn't we have something like that here? Moments where you could throw her around a bit like in a beat 'em up, or have her at least react to the hits. But if you can look past this lackluster final boss, the rest of the game is an intense, exciting experience. There are times where it does lack a bit and it seems to slow down. Its intensity doesn't become as intense anymore, and a few times it feels like a struggle to play, but I guess that adds to the experience of being trapped in an alien breeding ground. I'd go as far to say this is definitely worth playing even if you aren't a fan of the Alien series, as there is something for everybody to enjoy in this game. And that was Aliens. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you join us next time where a wrestler turned mayor goes on a killing spree to save his daughter.